I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout, and fame.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Flag Football Lab, where we build better players and confident coaches. I'm your host, Coach Preston, and whether you're a player, coach, or parent, you're in the right place. This is about building skills, developing confidence, and helping the next generation grow the right way. And for the coaches, this is your lab too, to learn techniques, sharpen your strategy, and take your team to the next level. So whether you're on the field or on the sideline, this is for you. And as always, I've got Coach Mike with me. Welcome, Coach Mike.
How are you? Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're viewing or listening to this podcast. How are you?
I'm great, man. Been a good week. We kicked off a lot of Friday Night Football last week. And
we sure did.
Anytime it goes smooth, it's good, man.
Did your team win?
We did win.
You did win?
Yeah. We have a fifth grade team playing up in the 7th, 8th grade division, just because they're fairly competitive and need a challenge. But we won pretty big. It was a good. We're playing monsters though.
That's the funny part, right?
Our kids are in the 5th grade, and none of them have hit any growth spurt at all. And then we're playing 7th and 8th graders. The kids are like a foot and a half tall.
Yeah, so they're so much faster. Even if they're not as athletically tuned in the game, they're so fast that sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed. And so now, to that point, right? Like, as those kids get bigger, they typically have to relearn, like running, and our kids are still like in their groove, so they're fat. So we're typically more shifty and get to our spots a little better. But it was a good game. And playing bigger, faster kids is typically just a challenge, so it's good for us to do.
Right.
How about you guys?
I went 3.
You had probably 12 games.
I had 6 games. We won 3, I lost 2, and I had a tie.
And so when you think 6 games, right? This is every Friday night. This isn't like a tournament where you're cramming them in. This is a league that has the following start times: 4:30, 5:20, 6:10, 7 o'clock, 7:50, 8:40.
Right.
So Coach Mike gets there for the first game, and he coaches a different team on a field for 5.5 or 6 straight hours.
I do. But you joined me in the first one. You're you're the head coach of kindergarten girls. So
that could be it could be the most fun, but it's also could be the hardest one too. In the heat, extremely hot at 4:30, and we're wrangling up 10 girls in kindergarten, and all the yip yap and the things which we're going to show in a little while. It's hilarious, but like to start your day like that, man, your energy's probably down by 50% to start.
You start to lose them though sometimes after the second half. If it's really hot, they're like, you could sense the ones that are like, I don't want to do this anymore right now. Like, okay, go take a break. Yeah. But then they realize they're just hotting on the sidelines.
Yeah, we'll get some commentary later, and you'll hear them. One of them's saying, "Ugh, I'm sweating." You're definitely sweating. It's hot.
Right.
All right. So wait, you had 6 games, and you.
Yeah, we won 3. We lost 2, and I had a tie. And I got to tell you, the tie one, it was a really good game. Very well fought. There was a call that could have gone either way, where we threw the ball and it was kind of picked off. It looked like he had possession, but then our guy kind of came in and grabbed it before he fully had possession, or, you could argue either aspect of it. The refs called it our way. And like the coaches got upset for a second, and then they brought it right back down. Said, hey, listen, look, that's us being selfish. It is what it is. We play however they call it. And shout out to the Jags coaches.
Good coaches over there?
They were great coaches. They were absolutely great. And then we had one on the other side where could have been a touchdown, or it could have been pulled slightly before, and the call is pulled slightly before, and that's how the game ended.
Part of the game.
Yeah, ended in a tie. Yeah. So
3-2-1 on the day. That's good, man.
Yeah, I'll take 3-2-1.
Yeah,
that's above 500.
Yeah, we coach 16s, man. That's a lot, dude. It's not. You're not going to win them all, but that's a lot of coaching. I don't know how you do it.
Me neither. But what's funny is the kids. Every category of those kids, like some of them have good athletes. Some of them have kids that are just getting going, right? They've never played before. And, if they don't have a coach, I'm trying to help them, So, it helps make me better as a coach. It really does. It gives me more exposure to more kids and how each kid is different and what they need to lock in to get better. So,
yeah, no doubt. You get a lot of different variables there. But when you don't, your son, or you're gonna have a kid on a team, it takes a lot of will to do that. But I think you committed to it, and the kids need it, and they need a coach, and so you're doing it. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, thanks for doing it with me.
I just do 2.
Just
Two
do
games.
two. Just do
And
two.
I get a 2-hour break between my games, man.
All right. So let's get in. We have a main topic for today. We have a video to start.
Yep.
All right. Let's take a look at this.
This is from the late, great Kobe Bryant.
You know, at 12, I'm like having a hard time remembering what I was doing at basketball at 12. And I'm like, kids nowadays try to do too much, you know, like from a skill standpoint, they try to have them do all this fancy stuff versus like the basic stuff. And so I teach my kids the most basic stuff. And we just do it over and over. But I asked Mike, I said, what were you doing at 12? Do you remember what you were doing at basketball at 12? And he goes, dude, I was playing baseball.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Let that sink in for a second.
That was his dad's
for
favorite
people out there who are like overtraining their kids at 12 and like doing all this fancy stuff, just let that sink.
So yeah, this is a great topic.
Yeah.
Are we overtraining our kids?
Yeah. A lot to unpack there too, right?
Yeah.
Because it goes into a couple things there. So every parent wants their kid to be successful in anything they're doing, right? Gymnastics or soccer, but most kids are playing some sort of sport or activity, right? So you want them to be the best. But I think this day and age is different than when we grew up because it's way more serious. And I think parents they want their kid to be the best or in the NFL or in the major leagues so bad that I think there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on these kids. You said it this week. You saw a parent on an opposing team yelling at a kindergartner because he didn't run wide enough to get the ball. And he's like, hey, if you don't run wide, you're yelling at the kindergarten. The kindergarten has no idea what he's doing out there. Like there's no clue. So a lot of pressure on kids to do that. And then the second thing is like, he just asked Michael Jordan, like, what were you doing at 12? Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball of all time. And Mike was like, I don't know, playing baseball.
Right.
Like he might not even be playing basketball at that age. Like, and so we had this idea that at 8 or 7 or 8 or 9, they're going to develop and this is what's going to lead them on this path. And it's not true. Like they just need to be kids and have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
So true. Yeah, you're right. I did have a scenario this Sunday where there was a parent he lost his mind on the refs. He lost his mind on me, and he was explaining that to the refs, and he was yelling at his own kid. And that's fascinating to me because, like, look, from the sideline, the only thing you should be doing for especially a young kid, a 5 or 6 year old player, is just cheering them on, no matter what it is, encouraging them. They feel the pressure. They're out there, you know, and like it's the coach's job to guide them into the right direction, to make them feel confident and get them going. Guess what you're doing? You're destroying your kid if you're yelling on the sidelines. You're not helping them in any fashion whatsoever. So just tell them, great job, just cheer them on. I don't understand how the parents get to that, right? But I mean, kind of getting on this topic, like, yeah, I want my kid to do well and I want my kid to work hard, right? But there's a fine line somewhere, right, between overworking them and showing up for them.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, so absolutely. I mean, the confidence at a young age is most important. So if you're destroying your kid's confidence in kindergarten, telling him he's doing the wrong thing, he's always going to think, I'm doing something wrong. Just encourage him so he's having a good time. Sounds like that dad has an expectation he goes out there that his excitement in the game is built on his son getting the ball and probably scoring touchdowns, right? And I get it. We have that, but like we need to just simmer that down and realize like, is he out there just smiling and having fun?
Right.
So the expectations is causing that. But then there's the level of, kids are 8 or 9 or 10. And that's not to say that kids can't go to someone to develop and get better, right? I do group training. I do private training. I do have 8 and 9-year-olds out there. But those parents should be doing it more for activity, like to keep their kid active in doing something because maybe he only has one practice that week. Then I'm going to take him to a football coach and let him practice and get better as long as he's having fun.
Right.
But the idea like you need to go out and work hard to get better. You're 9 and you have to work hard to be the best is like, whoa, like these kids don't understand that.
Right.
And they don't. Michael Jordan, they didn't even know what he was doing at 12 years old.
Right.
Kobe was like at 12, dude, I was just like playing pickup basketball. Like they weren't doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
So private training is in group training and things you're doing to get big. Like I think there's a way for that to include in the schedule, but it needs to be not because we want you to be the best, because you're enjoying doing it.
Right.
And look, I'm guilty of this, right? My 5th grader right now at a young age, he's caught a lot of footballs and we played a lot of football and he loves it and he's really good at it. And I've been hard on him, and I'll just tell you right now, I've been guilty of it. And 9 years old, I'm like, Jackson, man, we got to go out and run some routes if you want to get better. He's already a top receiver on his team. He already runs a good route, catch ball. And I'm trying to teach him that. And I slowly learned, like, he's not doesn't want to do it. He doesn't have to do it, right? Now we fast forward 2 years. He's 11 and a half and had his first tackle season. He knows what he's good at. He knows where he's lacking. Speed is one thing he's lacking in. And after his tackle season, I said, how was your season? He's like, good. And I was like, is there anything you get better at? He's like, yeah, I probably need to get faster, you know? I'm like, great. Well, we can go work on that. And so we got a gym membership at RDV, and I take him 3 days a week. And now it's me and him doing something, and I'm introducing him to workouts he can do to get better and faster. And he actually, like, he doesn't complain. We go right after school, and I say, how do you feel? He's like, I'm glad I did it. Like, we found a balance to doing stuff that he knows, but it's like we had to organically find that. I can't force him into that.
Right.
Right?
And what's important is that you're cognitive of that as a parent.
Yeah.
Right. You got to pay attention. Like, you know what, dude? It's so funny because I remember, you know, first of all, I encourage everybody to coach. You need to learn how to coach, or at least try it, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that you develop better as a parent as well, right? And I distinctly remember one of my first seasons coaching, and we had a kid that was super fast, and he's actually still in the league. He's a great kid. His dad's awesome. And like, I had yelled at this kid, right? Like, this is not how you do whatever I had said. And I saw that I freaked this kid out. And I'm like, oh man, that is not what I was trying to do. I'm trying to do the opposite of this. So it's like, okay, I need to have a different approach, especially for younger kids, you know? And you learn, right?
Yeah.
So you go and address the guy. Afterwards, I addressed him and said, hey man, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that. You know, I lost my cool and I shouldn't have. You know, you're a great player. We're going to keep working. And like, getting to that point is important. And if you're not trying to make yourself better, you're never going to make your kids better either, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. And you're right, coaching. We've made tons of mistakes, and I've grown so much through coaching too, right? And so that's the key point, is understanding, like, these things do happen, but we have to be cognizant of it, that these things are happening, and that we need to figure out how do we improve and navigate that.
Right.
So with my oldest, I've learned that, he didn't like that earlier age, working hard, and now we found a balance where I think he's enjoying it because me and Dad are doing it. So then we had to talk the other day. I was like, I won't coach you forever, Jackson. Like, at some point, you're gonna be on other teams, but like, I enjoy coming here with you and helping you get better, right? Maybe this is something we can continue to do, and maybe that's a dad-son thing where he's now getting better and developing and doing something that's improving him, and I'm a part of it, but I'm not forcing it on him.
Right.
We have to figure that out with our kids. So my daughter, Molly, she wants to go out and play catch with football, because the last couple of weeks I've invited her out to do it, and now she's like, every day she's like, Dad, can we go out and play catch with football and do that running thing where I run and catch it on the run? Like, she wants to do it. So she's getting better right now because I'm just playing with her, and it's a dad-daughter thing, rather than me saying, hey, Molly, you need to go out and catch 10 footballs every single day, right? If you want to get better. Like, it's how we deliver that to our kids and make sure that they're enjoying it, right? But I think there's a lot of parents that are forcing that on their kids, and they're going to burn out. And it's not okay for them. It's not okay for your relationship, because then your kids, like, feel like you don't care what they want.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So I think it's a super important topic. We go super deep on it, but I think if my takeaway would be, of course, we want our kids to learn hard work. First of all, they're going to see that from you, right? What are you doing every day? Are you going to work every day? Are you working out? Are you doing the things you're saying to do? Second of all, find a balance where you can do these things with them and they enjoy it. And then when you do, then just enjoy that moment with them and do that, right? But Michael Jordan wasn't shooting 1,000 basketballs until he was probably 17 or 18. I think there was a conversation actually with his college coach I saw recently that said that in his freshman year, they said, hey, Michael, if you want to be the greatest, you got to work harder.
Right.
And like, that was his freshman year of college. He wasn't working hard. Something clicked.
Right.
You know, something he became. So kids will become great. They'll have opportunities to become great. But if you burn them out, they'll have no shot.
Right. Okay, now devil's advocate, the other side of that. Parents that don't try and invest time, don't get their kids on time to practice. They don't try and do anything developing on the outside. However, they still expect their kid to be absolute best on the field. How does that make sense? Because I see that all the time. Like, I've gotten phone calls from parents, hey, Timmy isn't seeing as much field time as some of these other players. I mean, I understand that he's not as athletic as them, but like, what can I do? Why is that happening?
Yeah.
Well,
there's no special pill for anything. Okay. If I want to get in shape or lose weight or whatever I want to do, I'm gotta go to the gym.
Right.
And if I'm online looking for something that I'm gonna buy that's gonna help me do this at home, and it's not gonna work, right? The reality is you got to put the work in. So I think some parents' mindsets are what they are. Like, what's the easy fix so that I don't have to invest time and all that and do that? But there is no easy fix. It's not gonna be your coach once a week, because he's got 15 kids out there.
Right.
And his job is to get them all in order for the game on Friday. So it is the parent's job to recognize that their kid won something or be able to give them the time and effort that they need so they can get better.
Right.
Right? But you're not going to change that, right?
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? Like, I always do my best in that scenario to try and educate the parent, right? It's like, okay, listen, like, I want your son to be great. I'm not trying to punish your kid. What we need to do is he needs to understand that he's got to work hard to get there, right? So I have him for an hour.
Yeah.
You know, what is he doing the rest of the week? Like, even if it's basketball, if it's football, is he shooting? Are you shooting with him? Are you passing the ball? Is there somebody that can help him along the lines? Or are you just trying to get him to do it himself? But are you still encouraging him to do those things?
Yeah.
Because, delusional parents are always, I find them entertaining at times. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, I feel like it's my job as a coach to try and get them to the reality of, look, this is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
So
I haven't had a lot of that. I think a lot of the kids on my teams have parents that are highly involved. They understand that. But I have heard of situations, and you're right, it's the parent's job to explain to the kid, like, look, if you want to play more, then especially at a certain age, I mean, kindergarten, everyone plays, but like if in sixth grade and you're not playing much, then you just need to get better. Like, talk to your coach. Ask them what you have to get better at. Right? And then go work on it. And I can help you outside. We can go do it. But if the kid doesn't want to do it, then it is what it is. Like, then you're okay where you're at right now, then that's okay too. This isn't your favorite sport. You're happy just showing up on Fridays. Right. But if you want something, parents, we just got to teach them like these things at a young age, like that you have control over this and you're either going to do it or not do it.
Right.
Right?
100%.
So, but yeah, young age, confidence is key. Like, let's back off the kids a little bit.
Let's cultivate
that.
And
if you make a mistake, then just correct it and don't do it again, right? We've all made mistakes.
I mean,
don't keep berating them every year, every season. Like, that's just going to burn the kid out.
And they're going to make the mistake more than once. I got news for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like a particular running back that we have. You got to go this way.
I'm trying to figure my daughter out. Like, in kindergarten, she caught a pass this week, but something's triggering her. She caught a pass, and then she ran and got her flag pulled after 5 yards, and she's crying. She doesn't want the ball anymore because her flag's pulled, right? I'm trying to figure out where's that coming from, right? Now, she has older brothers, and she sees them score touchdowns, quite often. So she has this idea that you have to score touchdowns or something. She won't say it because she doesn't communicate the problem. She just cries.
Right.
But I'm trying to explain to her, like, you just caught the football.
Right.
Right? Like, that's not easy to do.
In kindergarten.
Right. And so because you go home and you play catch with daddy, like, you're able to catch the football. That's a big deal. She doesn't recognize that right now. So I'm battling with, like, I hate that she is sad. She gets her flag pulled. But as a dad and a coach, I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I get her out of that mindset? Well, here's the deal. Maybe I don't right now. Maybe she breaks out of it, but I continually encourage her, tell her what she does well, right? So that at some point she breaks out of that because she needs to enjoy that part of the game.
Right. Yeah, and she's one of the only kids that can do it at a high success rate.
Yeah, and she caught it. It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, so we did have a comment from our last show. So a coach's question for you. You ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
All right. At JetTac, apologize if I messed that up. I think it's right. JetTac. JetTac. What's your favorite formation for 5v5 leagues? Most NFL leagues are 5v5 for us, and I'm looking to incorporate a system like yours.
Yeah.
So do you have anything that he could start to kind of incorporate?
I mean, we have a number of tournaments that we do. So our league is 6v6, and then we have a number of tournaments we do that are 5-on-5. And then I also coach my kids in 7-on-7. So I get a taste of all that. And it's all really universal stuff. It's just you're trying to overload one side of the field. So I'm going to go on the board here, and I'll draw some stuff up real quick.
Okay. All right, let's jump to the board.
All right, Coach Mike. So the question here is, what are some different formations you can run or that I like in 5-on-5? And everything I go down to is a base formation, right, is most important, right? And then you can overload a side. So in this, we call this twins left, which means we have 2 receivers on the left-hand side, and then we have 1 receiver backside, and then our center and our quarterback make our 4 and 5 receivers, right? This helps me really figure out what the defense is in, but essentially overload a side over here with 2 receivers, but keeping them balanced. When I keep this backside receiver here, it keeps their outside corner and linebacker over there. Okay. If I go to a trips formation, they could slide more players over, and we don't want more players. We want to spread the defense out and figure out where our holes are at. So our obvious right now, we've got a hole in here, potentially in here, big gap out here. This is what we're going to attack in our trips. I won't go into detail on a lot of things. I mean, right now, because I think there's a lot to get into, but in the 5v5, there's typically a rusher, right? So one of these players is probably going to rush from 7 yards out. And so as a coach, we need to draw up plays that really attack the middle of the field here, and your quarterback has an option. We're going to throw the ball to where that rusher's coming from, right? Now, a lot of times, if the rusher's coming this way, then he might take a few steps out here and then hit this out route, right? He's got a sidestep, but really we're going to attack the middle of the field. We don't have a lot of time to go deep with a rush.
Right.
If they're not sending a rusher and they're just playing maybe a cover 3 or something like that, and we have 4, 5, 6 seconds for some of these leagues, then we're really going to try to attack the ball deep down here. And a lot of times that's like post corners or deep corners and comebacks and things like that.
Okay.
Right? So twins left, twins right. And then and how do I move that? I would say if I say twins right, then basically there's a couple ways. My slot receiver can go over here, right? And then I've got 2 receivers on the right, 1 over here. But this gives you, a lot of times if the defense slides, it gives you one-on-one options on the backside to attack this DB.
Okay, so how do I tell my center to run out to the right or run out to the left?
So how do you communicate that?
So you say 1.
Well, so for a center, we specifically use language for them. We say Randy or Larry, which tells us right or left. So he does a 5-yard out to the right on Randy, 5-yard out to the left. Now, there's rules, obviously, with impeding the rusher. So what I tell my center is if we're doing a Randy and this guy's rushing, then we need to sneak in behind him. By the time he comes, we're sneaking in behind him over here, and then we're trying to hit that throw.
Okay. Now, normally, so this scenario works out great if that was the guy that's rushing.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't know which one's rushing.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens then?
So we'll build in some combos where what we'll do here is we will run this guy on an out whip, and then we'll run this guy on an out whip here maybe, right? For instance, and I got a receiver over here as well. And what we're doing is we're basically, the quarterback's dropping back when he feels the rusher, right? So if the rush comes from this side, then he's basically going to hit this guy coming right back in the middle.
Gotcha.
Right? And this is just a simple way to do it. There's 5 or 6 different plays we have to attack. We don't do it the same way. But just 2 little out whips from both these guys gives the timing to get pushing out enough to when they start whipping back in, the rusher, let's just say this rusher's here, right? Then by the time he's whipping back in, we're throwing that ball in the middle of the field right there or on the other side. It's a simple way to do it. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I think there's a number of ways to attack the middle, but we're going to use both of these guys to attack these 2 spots, and then wherever the rusher comes from, we hit.
Okay, so you're generally explaining to the quarterback here that this guy might be the primary or he might not be the primary.
Yeah.
These are your 2. You got 1 or 2, and we have to see what the defenders do in order to decide.
We're going to, the easiest way to do that is, hey, drop back wherever the rusher comes from, we're going to that receiver over there. But we have more plays where we can run an out here, right? We can run an out here, and then we run a slant backside, right? So now we're putting 3 receivers in this area, right? And now you're figuring out where the rusher's coming from. So if the rusher comes here, right, then we'll hit this out because this receiver's running a go route, which is going to drop this guy into his deep third, right? So here's my base formation that we run a lot of our plays out. 6v6, it's called 91. We've talked about it before. So basically our outside receivers have the 9, our inside receivers have 1s. So this guy's running a go route because in all reality, this is a cover 3, he's got to drop. We're running a 1 here. So this window should be open when this DB drops, okay? He's dropping back here. What I'll do with this is I'll bring this guy in behind as well, because if that guy drops out to cover, then I'm hitting the out right behind him. And then I'll either carry this guy on a 9 or I'll slant him in here to attack, right? So if he picks him up and my rusher comes here, it could be a quick slant throw right there. But this is how we would attack this. In 91, we'd run an out, we'd run a Larry, and then we would try to isolate this guy and make him have to pick up the outside receiver, the inside receiver.
Okay, and you just tell him 2.
And then he runs a 2 as well, and we might look at the line of scrimmage. After we run this combo a couple times, we might see at the snap, this guy's not rushing. We might see him at the snap start to cheat over to help with this. So they're saying, hey, linebacker, at the snap, I want you to pick up the out. I want you to pick up the interior guy. Well, we run the slant in behind so that now, when I see that, we're going to hit that guy in the middle of the field there. Everything we do defensively is to use our receivers to isolate the defenders. So one receiver, his job, I have to run him on a route to get him out of the way. And then we overload the other players with 1 more receiver than they have defenders, and then we hit the open guy.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay, let's go sit back down. Okay, so that's just one play to kind of get into the 5v5, because this isn't something that we necessarily covered yet on the podcast, right?
Yeah, we'll get into more of that. And there's a lot of different things. What we try to do is attack, first of all, everything we do in our offensive system as we run specific players on plays that isolate defenders, which we know are going to keep them active, and then we roll into space with someone else to hit something, right? So everything we have drawn up like that. 5v5, the easiest way I would say to do that is run a lot of that shallow crosses and outs and things like that, and run off the outside receivers and then just hit the open guy.
Okay.
Twins left, twins right, spread the field out. The only thing I would comment on that is make sure your outside receivers are all the way to the sideline, like a yard from the sideline, because that spreads out the entire defense. But if we're in a twins package and our outside receiver is 6 yards out the sideline, you're squeezing the defense in. We want to spread them out so that we can easily find those gaps and holes.
Right. Okay, great. Jet Tack, thanks so much. If you guys want to hear some comments on the show and you have some strategies and some questions, please comment below on this episode and maybe we cover it. So, next thing that we have here, I have a play for you that we were going to write on the board, but we're no longer going to write on the board because it's better for all of us if we don't write on the board. And I want you to break it down. Tell me your lingo and tell me what defense you think that it works best against. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
This is one of my favorite plays. I love this play.
All right. I'm interested to know what you. I can see what would be a favorite part of this play, but depending on the formation. So in this play right now, we look like, if I'm going to call this play with my team, we're going to be in spread tight 91, Oklahoma, Z whip, X screen, black, Randy 7. All right? So spread tight 91, Oklahoma, Z whip, X screen, black, Randy 7. So what we do there is, right, we're in a 91 formation.
Okay.
Spread tight, which means my inside receivers come in tight to the center. Okay, we're spreading the field out. And then we're in 91 Oklahoma. So our 91 means our outside guys have goes. Oklahoma means we're on out and ups. All right, so that's the A receiver or the green receiver. He's running a little out and up right there.
Okay.
And then from there, I don't want 91 for the rest of my players, so I've checked him out of that. I told Z, you're on earlier, he's on a 91, which is a 1. But I've checked him to a whip. So he's running a 1 whip now. He's pushing out and whipping back under. I checked my X, my purple X, to just a screen, just a 1-step stop. He's just standing there as a check down. And then I told my black, which is my center, to do a Randy 7, which means you're running a corner route, a 7, to the right side. Randy 7, right?
Makes sense.
So that's my play call for those guys. If I'm looking at this, I think a cover 2 is probably, if I want to hit something big right now, I'm going to cover 2. I'm going to look to the left side. And that my left side safety, so let's talk about 2 things. You have 2 safeties in a cover 2.
Right.
So my center is essentially taking and isolating the right side safety on his corner route. So that right side safety is out of the play. Now I have a go route from my wide receiver and a quick out and up from my green. Those 2 guys running deep right there gives me an option to attack that safety. So if at safety, probably, I would imagine, he's probably going to pick that Y up quicker because that Y is taking off on a fast go. And when he runs out to pick that up, that little quick out and up should be, as soon as the A breaks on his out for a couple yards and stems up, we're probably hitting him right now on the inside shoulder, right? Because the safety's probably going to be way outside by that time chasing that.
Okay.
So if I need a big pickup, I'm telling my quarterback, roll left a little bit, look at my wide receiver. Why am I looking at my wide receiver? Because I want the safety to run out there to the sideline, and then I'm going to turn in and hit a quick on your out and up right there. It's not really a true out and up to the sideline. It's just kind of the middle of the field. I'm going to hit my A receiver in the middle of the field.
Okay.
That's my big pickup play.
So let's go on a 4-2.
Still in the 4-2. If I just need 5 yards in my 4-2, I'm hitting my Z. I'm probably going to hit my Z whip, all right? Because what's going to happen is you have 2 linebackers there. He's going to push that right linebacker out. My left linebacker is going to chase with my A receiver for a few steps on this out and up. And the middle of the field is going to be wide open. So as soon as that Z pushes the right linebacker out and he whips back in, throwing it right in the middle of the field to him for 5 or 6 yards.
Okay.
That's probably a great check down play or a quick pickup play.
Love it.
And then anything you have is like, oh, it's all a mess. You can always come over to your X receiver. And if he's just 1 or 2 yards off the sideline, a lot of times those corners drop. They don't come up on that. You can probably just give him a quick catch and then pick up a few yards.
Okay.
What do you like in this play, Mike?
Z.
Z?
Z's always there.
All day?
Yeah, Z, and surprisingly enough, normally what'll happen, because on a 5-1D, it might be a little bit faster than that. What'll happen is I've always seen the safety actually come up and go in on that A, and then the center's wide open.
What now? One more time. The safety comes up on what?
So the safety sometimes, like if I've ran this a couple times.
In a 5-1.
Yeah, on a 5-1D, and it's working with Z. What happens is the safety starts to cheat up.
Yeah.
And he's looking to track Z to get that flag pull or to cover A. And that means that the back right of the field is wide open.
Yeah.
And then I just pray that I have a center that can catch the ball.
I think that's exactly what we do, right? We call a play, if we start to see something happening, we'll continue onto it, and then we'll hit another spot. So I can see where he comes up on Z. You can probably hit the orange on a quick corner right there, especially if the cornerback on the right side is staying down on the X.
Right.
Right? So 100%. Great play. Spread tight, 91, Oklahoma, Z whip, X screen, black Randy 7.
Rover.
No rover, no jet, no motion, nothing like that.
Yeah. I think that the biggest challenge for me as a coach is to getting a quarterback to see it. So even if you explain it, like I'm trying to do a better job of slowing down. Say, okay, we're going to attack the left, we're going to attack the right. In all those different scenarios. So because sometimes a quarterback will decide in their mind pre-snap, this is the guy I'm hitting, right? And whether that guy's open or not, this is the guy I'm hitting. So how do you teach them to kind of get off of that and look for the second?
Well, I think if I'm in a 4-2 right now, I'm telling the quarterback what to do, right? So I think if we're going for a deep ball right now, I'm saying, hey, I want you to roll left. And a lot of times in certain ages, you can be on the field. So I talk to the quarterback while he's rolling out, right? We're teaching them how to read the field. I'll say, you're going to roll left, you're going to look at Y, and when I say now, you're going to throw it to the green A out and up, right? It's a quick out and up. So he'll roll out, and I'll say, look at Y, look at Y, look at Y, now. And then he's listening to me. He's like, oh, now I'm coming to my green. I'm watching the safety roll over, and I can see the timing on the play. If we're just trying to hit the 5-yard in, right, then there's not a lot to do. What I would tell my quarterback is, hey, I want you to look at A on this little out and up, because he's going to take a couple steps into his out. It's going to keep that outside linebacker to his hip. I'm going to say, I want you to look at A for 2 seconds and then come right back to Z. So it's given enough time to hold that linebacker, and that Z pushes out, and then by the time he's whipping back in, my quarterback is literally 2 seconds. He's coming off of it, throwing it in the middle of the field. So I will tell my quarterback those 2 steps on every single play.
Right.
And they'll start to develop understanding that. This is a little bit more of I don't want to use a complicated play. I think it's a great play because you can do so many things with this. Some plays I run are just 91.
Right.
I look at the line of scrimmage right away, and I'm like, that guy's going to be wide open. That's what we're throwing to. This has a lot more movement, but you can still work your quarterback through those reads, and it depends on when you line up, what do you want, the deep ball or the short ball?
Right.
Tell the quarterback that's what we're going after.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. I love it.
All right, and for the third thing today, kindergarten football.
Yes.
I believe that we have some.
Oh, we do have a mic'd up video today. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we don't do enough of this in the league. All right, we usually every couple weeks we'll come out and mic up. We're finding our sweet spot. Kindergartners, first graders, maybe second graders mic'd up, great. Third, fourth, fifth graders, they're just seriously competitive, and a lot of times you just get competitive. We like to see the funny moments, so we're gonna pull this up right here. Okay, so this video was from this past Friday night. This is me and Coach Mike's kindergarten team, and we mic'd up a couple girls. We told them it's a speed tracker. We don't tell them they're mic'd up. We don't want them to know they're mic'd up. It's a speed tracker, so they all wanted to know how fast they were, and I had to tell a lot of them no. But this is my niece, Olivia, and then Sloan, who is the most vocal on the field, is hilariously funny. Let's watch this. Yeah.
But Sloan, you got the speed tracker on now. You gonna run fast? Are you excited?
I've been practicing. I did 10 squats and 100.
You did 10 squats? Okay, she's ready.
She didn't call my name.
Over there?
Oh my God! How fast do you think you can run? A meter. A meter? How long is that? I don't know. That's for science. Dead ball. Down, set, hike. Go! Let's go, Dolphins! Let's go! You better start putting hot sauce on her thumb. Start putting hot sauce on on her thumb. She keeps sucking it.
Put Danny at 10.
Go!
All right, here we go. Ready?
Wait! Yeah. Emma. Good job. Almost got a touchdown. But good job. They keep not touching it. Run!
Put Danny out wide.
I am flooding. Thanks for that bracelet. Does that hurt? It just feels weird a little bit.
Me over here.
So am I
Teddy,
getting the ball?
Yes.
Let's cheer for our team. Go! How did it go?
Is that the funniest thing in the world?
That's incredible. I did 10 squats and 100.
I'm ready. I did 10 squats and 100.
Yeah.
And she is so vocal, so Sloan. And I didn't realize this. Like, we hear her out there, but there's so many things going on. Like, she is every play.
Mm-hmm. Nonstop.
Incomplete pass. Dead ball. Eye roll.
Right.
Back to this. Like, okay, womp womp. Like, they're not catching the ball. Oh.
Right.
What'd you say? I'm sweating.
Right. Dude.
And the end eye roll when she pulled the flag, man, there's some sassiness out there that I didn't realize we had.
Yeah. Man, the kindergarten girls are the most fun. I know I say that all the time, but they really are. They really are the most fun to coach.
Well, and it's just to see their personalities coming out on the field. Or like, and we see a lot of it already, but then like watching this video, and that's like, they're cheering on the sideline. I even know, like Olivia, the girl came and said, good job, almost scored a touchdown. Like, and they're cheering each other on. Like, I don't recognize that in the game. We're on the field with chaos. So it's cute to watch them and like how they're developing and enjoying the game, just being little people out there.
Yeah.
And then Sloanie's like unbelievably funny, man. We need more of that.
Yeah. And I mean, we're on our third season.
Yeah.
Right. And you're starting to see more progress from all the players.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even just last season, we had, a couple girls that didn't want the ball.
Yeah.
And this game, we got them to get the ball, we got them to run, and they didn't freak out when the flag was pulled. They were super excited that it happened. Like they're starting to feel it a little bit,
Well, they're getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then there was a bunch of girls we kind of brought together. Like maybe one girl had a friend here or friend here, but they're learning each other.
Right.
And in getting more comfortable, right? And you see them on the sideline cheering each other, doing little cheers on the sideline. That's the cutest thing in the world.
Right. It's adorable.
Yeah. Dude, unbelievable video.
Good stuff, man. Okay, you have a skill for today?
Yeah.
All right,
We're gonna go. This is a catching skill here, and let me see right here. So more advanced skill for players, right? Probably older players certainly can do it with younger players, but it's the overhead catch, right? There's a lot of hand-eye coordination involved. So I'll push play right here, and you can hear me when I throw the ball. I'm saying ball. Ball. So I'm letting them know the ball's coming. They need to look up, find the ball, track it, and catch it over the shoulder. It's a fairly difficult drill to do. But helps them ball track, helps them catch the ball over the top. For older kids, that's important. A lot of kids at a young age, as they start to get older, they like to turn to catch the ball every time, which isn't a bad thing. But learning to catch the ball over the shoulder when you beat a defender is like how you ultimately catch the deep ball. So it's a great drill. I think something like this, like you're just getting your kid out there and throwing like 20 balls, like a couple days a week with them, right? And just training them on that and getting them better at it. Jackson and I will progress it, and I'll have him do one-handed catches over the top, right? So he's just learning to do that. We're just challenging him constantly so that he's getting better. You can do this with tennis balls, which is a little more difficult. It's a much smaller ball to track over the top. This is a great drill to do. Kids can just throw it into their little training program and improve their hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see normally, especially in like I would say the third grade, fourth grade level or below. Any of those deep balls, normally they get nervous, they stop, they turn, they run backwards.
Yeah.
They do everything that you're not supposed to do. They're worried about the ball being underthrown. And then so now you're no longer catching that player in motion where if they grab it over the top like that, they're gone.
Yeah.
So
and some of those throws, they just go over the top. They're just too far, right? And so I've seen our team and some of our players that make catches that are exceptional over the top because they do these training drills, and like stretching out and catching the ball is something they've trained to do, and they've been doing it. But you want to add this in. This is for players that have good hands already, and we want to continue to challenge them, right? We need to take it to the next level. This would be a drill to do.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, from a coach, there's nothing better than seeing a player, no matter where they're at, improve and get better in a new technique on the field.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I had a kid for years. He's like, I want to catch. He can't catch all the time, but he wanted it. He kept working. So we have a really hard play that I love because I've even confused you on it. You're like, where's that kid come from? Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't tell you. So I ran it with him, and the quarterback was nervous, so it was a little delayed, but he still struck him, and he caught it and went up the field. Man, you could tell that kid was just like, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
You know. So I was like, all right, man, good work. You know, now we can work on other things, get him to the next step. So this is definitely the next step for that player.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let me see here.
You got to play for us today.
Well, that was the kind of was the play, right? Or wait, no. Oh, yes, I do. I have a play that was used against me. This is on Friday. This coach is a really good coach. He does a good job conducting his kids on the field, and he's got he's got a lot of integrity as well. So it was cool to play them because they're very smart. But I saw this and I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Let's take a look at this play real quick and then break it down for us. So obviously we're close to the end zone here.
Yep.
He doesn't need a ton of yards.
Yep.
He's about 5 yards. So go ahead and break
Goal
down.
line play. No, I think it's a great play. So in the goal line, the challenge is trying to throw over the top into the back of the end zone is difficult sometimes, right? It's a hard throw to make, trusting it, and you really can't see back there where the safety's at. So a lot of times underneath throws work well. So it seems like this coach was probably realizing that your defenders were dropping into the end zone, right? Which is normal. They're defending the goal line. So he was going to run. He ran 3 guys off to pull the linebackers back to throw a quick underneath, which in this case is a 3-yard pass. Now the kid needs 2 yards, 1 missed flag, and he's in the end zone, right? So you're banking on, hey, just catch the underneath throw. Maybe there's a missed flag. He gets in the end zone. I can't tell if he gets. It looked like get in the edge over there.
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great play, right? You're not trying to force the ball over the top. You're taking what the defense is giving you. And this coach is probably realizing, hey, these guys are dropping back into the coverage and covering the goal line. We'll take the underneath, and he might sneak his way in, which is exactly what happens. So he's just, again, taking what the defenses give you. Sometimes it's easier than we make it. And I do see some different types of plays sometimes. This one's a more simpler, meaning like those 3 guys probably ran like 7-yard stops underneath. But I see some motions and some things like that where you get guys moving. At the end of the day, you hit the underneath play in goal line, and it typically gets these guys in the end zone. So that's a great way to free something up underneath and then a missed flag and you score.
So essentially like a cross play where you have post corners.
Yeah.
Because he's got all 4 receivers on the left side of the field there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you do on a defense to try and adjust for that? Because he's overloading one side of the field, right? Which is smart.
Yeah. So, I mean, once he hits it, right, then I think we're coaching. But I don't think there's a lot to do on that. I think the kids really have to drop back because if they do come up, then there's probably a lane behind them to throw the ball, right? I think the idea is they just need to react very quickly, and they all need to attack the pass catcher immediately, right? And go pull the flag and put them in a second or a third down. But that play comes down to pulling the flag.
Right.
If you pull the flag, he's short. Now you're in 3rd and 2, which is a better scenario, but it's really a tough play because if you miss a flag, it's just a touchdown.
Right.
I don't know that you do anything any differently on the.
No shifting, none of that stuff.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you could probably if the players were just didn't seem like they were running anything crazy. It looks like they were just running off. I'm watching it one more time. They were all just running like to the back of the end zone, so you could go to a man situation.
Right.
If you feel like they're going to do that to you again on the next drive, and when you go man, yeah, you've all your guys chasing, but you have one guy locked onto this guy running the out route, may give you a chance to knock it down or pull the flag a little bit quicker.
Okay.
That'd probably be the only solution there. But otherwise, they really have to drop in their zone because they can't leave a touchdown open behind them. You want to give up the underneath throw. My team, all the time, I'll tell them, we will give up the underneath throw and pull the flag. We do not want a ball thrown behind us in the end zone. So I think the defense did the right thing. The coach is just coaching and taking what he can get and just peeling off as many yards as he can.
Right.
Both sides, it's good stuff.
Yeah, he did it tactfully. He did it perfectly. That's our silver team. So, those kids are still they're a little bit behind as far as development. They're not at a gold athletic level. So, trying to explain it to them sometimes you could see that it's like, oh, what are you saying? So like that's when I always have to think, okay, I need to slow this down. Okay, so what's going on? Like, hey, he's tapping the center. He's telling them where to go. Like, watch it. Go, watch the play progress. But if I guess from a coach's perspective, Like, you got to know your team, right? Like, I think that sometimes I'll talk to the silver guys at the same level that I talk to the gold guys, and it just glazes over. Like,
Gold and silver, gold division are the more advanced teams, right? And the silver division are probably more recreational style teams. Kids are just putting it together. So when he's talking to gold and silver, Mike's saying, like, my gold guys know a lot of the lingo and stuff already. I can talk to them differently. Silver, we're still a lot more teaching going on, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it.
Thank you for explaining that to our listeners. Okay, do you have anything else to add?
That's it. Like and subscribe. We appreciate the questions. Send in questions, and we might feature on the next podcast.
Yeah,
next
absolutely.
Week. Yeah.
Coach Preston, thanks again so much for your time. We appreciate it and the education and information that you're providing.
I love it, man. See you guys next week.
All right, bye.